Did you know that most of the struggles we face in life are not about what's happening outside, but about the battles we are fighting inside? I actually want to talk about positivity, about self-love and the very real challenges that all of us go through. Not in a glossy, motivational poster way, but more in a real, raw, lived experience kind of way. This is about how we manifest the good, the bad and everything in between. Hi, this is Saugat and I'm back with Real Verses with Saugat, or in fact I'm calling this Micro Verses now. Feels a little more appropriate. The last time I was here, I talked about entrepreneurship, about failures, about successes, about everything in between, about the highs, the lows, the skills, resources, mindset needed to do entrepreneurship in the right way, in the right manner. I had already thought about what I wanted to do in my next video, and here I am to talk about things that are very deeply personal to me. One of the most damaging things we do to ourselves is that we compare, ourselves with others. We compete with colleagues, with friends, with family members, hell, even with strangers on Instagram we don't even know. But here's the truth. Everyone's journey, everyone's growth story looks different, feels different, acts different. Just because someone bought a house at 30 or bought a fancy car at 25 doesn't mean that you are someone who's lost just because you're figuring things out in your mid-30s or even in your 40s. Comparison is actually the thief of joy. It's worse. It's a killer of dreams. The energy that we waste measuring ourselves against others could have actually been used to water our own garden. I say stop competing. Let's start living our own story. Comparisons actually kill more dreams than failures ever will. Here's another hard truth. It does not get easier when you make it big. In fact, the pressure only increases. Success brings with it insecurities simply because you're scared of losing it all. You're scared of losing what you've earned, and that's why people at the top often feel lonelier than those just starting out. Just to quote the example of two of my very close friends, one of them is an IT professional who lives in Pune with his family, goes to work every day, comes back home, spends time with his wife, with his son, loves to eat good food, has a drink or two over the weekend, enjoys music like nobody else that I know, used to be an amazing singer when we started out, as kids, and I have not seen a man more content with his life. The other person is someone who started out just like we did, worked really, really hard. I don't think I've seen someone more hardworking. He even now works more than 20 hours a day, works 365 days a year. And the reason why looking at both of them is a joy is because I see both of them being completely secure, happy with what they're doing. They're just happy in their own space, in their own skin, because they both love doing what they're doing. What I'm trying to say is, life is not going to get easier. We just got to get stronger, more resilient. Success always does not erase insecurity. Sometimes it even just amplifies it. The other thing that I believe in very strongly now is never ever criticize yourself. Not even as a joke, not even in front of close friends. Words carry energy. The way you speak about yourself creates a ripple. If you call yourself a failure often enough, your mind will actually start believing it. Psychologists call this self-fulfilling prophecy. We've heard it so many times. I don't think we remember it often enough. I just call it bad omen. I just don't like talking bad about myself. It's not needed. So instead of just beating yourself down, speak life into yourself. Treat your inner voice as your best friend, not as your worst critic. Your words shape your world. Everyone today wants quick wins, quick success, quick results, quick wealth. But fast is not very sustainable. It seldom is. The tallest trees don't grow overnight. The strongest relationships aren't built in a month. It's like, the 2-minute noodles that we all love, but they taste great, but they don't do anything for our health, right? Think about it. Every time we microwave a meal, it feels warm, it feels comfortable, but it's not very satiating. It's not very nutritious. Life works the same way. What's slow, steady and intentional usually lasts longer. So stop rushing, build slow, build strong. Fast is fragile, slow is sustainable. I just thought about it. The other thing, when it comes to doing something, I think the toughest question to answer in life isn't how do I do this, when will I get there. I think the toughest question to me is why. Why am I doing this? Why does this matter to me? My why is my anchor. Without it, I know that I kind of start drifting. With it, I can weather storms. A very famous TED talk speaker, Simon Sinek, actually talked about it. He actually calls it starting with why. I have been trying to live this ever since I heard his TED talk, I think about more than 10 years back. When I felt like giving up, the only thing that keeps pulling me back is remembering why I started. The why is very important. It's just something that feels like the fulcrum, it just feels like the base. The why has more power than any strategy, plan or shortcut that I know about. So your why needs to be your compass when everything else feels lost. The other bit is that you've got to love something in life, and it doesn't have to be your work. It doesn't have to be anything specific. Society puts a lot of pressure on us to find passion only in careers. But honestly speaking, maybe it's just my love for music or my love for travel or hell, just being with my son. He's 3 and he's an absolute joy to be around. He gives me the most peace that I have ever felt in my life. Love is what fuels you when everything else feels empty. Never apologize for the things that light up your soul, even if they don't make any money or sense to others. You don't have to love your work, but you must love something. Try not to define yourself, because when you define, you limit. Who says you can or cannot do, something? I mean, most limits are mental, right? But let's also be real. No single person can do everything. It's just not possible. You are not going to, do everything or win everything. You're not going to be good at everything. I think that's where the art of being mindful comes in. Mindful about yourself, mindful about others who you are around, whether it's family, whether it's your team members, colleagues. You build stronger when you let others bring their strengths to complement you. And you stay sane when you stop trying to be superhuman. Success isn't about doing it all. It's about doing what matters most and trusting others with the rest. If there's something that I've truly understood from my own journey, it's this. Life isn't about winning every race. I won't be able to. So instead of asking, why am I not where they are? I am starting to ask myself, why am I doing what I'm doing? I mean, that shift, it just changes everything, right? It gives me clarity, it gives me peace, it gives me perspective, it gives me direction. Most importantly, it gives me courage to keep going at my own pace. If there's anything that I want you to take away from this, it's this. Stop tearing yourself down. Speak kindly to yourself. Move at your own rhythm. And most importantly, don't forget to love something in your life very deeply. Whether it's your work, your art, your people, or even just the quiet time you spend with yourself. I am going to be back to talk more about manifestation, about how you actually identify what you're great at versus what you're just okay at. But for now, I'd love to hear from you. What's the biggest why in your life right now? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to read them. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and stay true to yourself. God bless. Ciao.